Sorry about that, but I was trying to prove a point. We don't think of the importance of breathing until we lack oxygen. But let me tell you, oxygen is life. Which brings us to our next principle, which is breathing. We want to ask the questions, why should we pay attention to our breathing? How do we breathe properly? And what are the side effects of not breathing properly? We're at the downtown yoga studio because who better to talk about breathing than with yogis, some of the best breathers we know. So come on inside, we're going to talk about the benefits of breathing properly. Come on in. Now, breathing is automatic and it's one of our foundation principles. So why should we pay attention to our breathing? Why should we be aware of it?
Well, most people will say, I'm always breathing. I'd be dead if I wasn't breathing. Well, most people breathe shallow breaths if they're stressed or in a rush, or there's something going on in their lives that's really causing them a lot of stress or anxiousness. So the breath doesn't really go down deep enough to oxygenate the body and heal the body and cleanse the body like it should. To be aware of the breath and pay attention to the breath means that you're breathing consciously. So instead of unconsciously, you're really paying attention to the rate of your breath, the depth of your breath, and it's the quickest way to the present moment.
So what are the side effects then of breathing improperly or not breathing correctly?
You can cause a lot of stress in the body, which causes illness. And so if people are really stressed out, anxious, sad, upset, the body will go into this stress mode and will make the sympathetic nervous system fire up, and that can cause a lot of illness in the body and stress in the mind. And so what you want to try to do is breathe slower and deeper to get the parasympathetic nervous system active so the body will be less stressed.
How do you breathe correctly?
Proper way to breathing is to try to just take slower, deeper, fuller breaths, trying to oxygenate the entire body. When you breathe shallow, you're not taking in as much oxygen, so a lot of the side effects could be being tired, sick, not present. So the deeper you breathe, the healthier you're going to be mentally and physically.
If you're concentrating on your breathing, you only have one thought. You can't be thinking about the groceries, your kids, or anything like that. So the awareness of the breath and concentrating on your breathing is so important.
Yes, definitely. Most people are running to the past, to the future. They're not in the present moment, and they are exhausted by the end of the day because they're thinking so much. So when you quiet the mind, even for a few minutes a day, you're giving the mind a rest, and you can really pay attention to what you're doing in the present moment, giving yourself 100%.
Because North American society, we're always rushing around doing things, filling our plate. It's called the fight or flight mode, and it's that sympathetic nervous system, and you can't breathe deeply when you're running from a lion and you're constantly stressed. So take 10 deep breaths a day. Take a minute to yourself and concentrate on the breath. Very important.
Definitely. So breathe deep.
So breathe deep, practice your square breathing. I want to thank Gina and the Downtown Yoga Studio for sharing their expertise on breathing today. And practice at home and get back to us. In this segment of the show, we're going to look at the emails that you viewers have sent us. And this one comes from one of our viewers, and it's about water, and we covered some of that already. I've been drinking bottled water for years now, but with the concerns of plastics causing cancer, disease, etc., I know you talked about the water requirement, but what is the best type of water to drink? They sound a little bit confused, so this is a really good time to address quality of water, which we didn't touch on. Earlier we talked about what the water requirement that you need. I just wanted you to get the water that your body needs. Now we could address the quality of water. At this time, you think about the plastics was a really good tip. So you want to minimize plastics as much as possible, whether it be food or drink. Plastics can leach, there's research causing diseases, whatever. Just minimize plastic as much as possible. The best containers to purchase water and to store water in are stainless steel and glass. So if you can maximize those, minimize plastics, you're on your way. The second thing, when you're choosing a water, you want to get a water with a pH of about 7.0. If you're buying water, there's some good quality waters out there that will list the pH on the side. The pH is very important because closer to a 7.0 is very conducive to health in the body. It's not too acidic, it's not too alkaline. The second thing is the hardness factor. You want more of a hardness quality in the water. This can be checked on the label of the water, listing the calcium. If you add the calcium and the magnesium of the water, you'll get a total hardness factor. And you want to look at a hardness factor about 170 when you add those two factors together. So that's another way to get a good quality water. The next thing to look at is the parts per million, or ppm, of total dissolved salts in the water, or TDS. You're going to look for 300 parts per million of total dissolved salts in the water. And what this is your water should be as close to the earth as possible. That means it has the vitamins and minerals conducive to health. If you have a reverse osmosis system, that means your water is totally devoid of all the bad stuff, but also the good stuff. It's a totally clean water. So what we recommend you do there is add Celtic sea salt or some Himalayan salt to your water. And these salts are like, it's like a multivitamin, these salts. And don't go with the myth that salt is bad for you. That's another topic for another show. Your salt should have color. If you have a reverse osmosis water, add a Celtic salt, a gray salt to your water, or a pink Himalayan salt, and that'll give the life force back to the water. That'll give its minerals and vitamins that you need, the electrolytes that you need in order to become healthy. And these are basic little things that you can do every day. Doesn't take long to get a really good quality water. Let's review. Awareness. Awareness of each of the 6 principal foundations. So try to be aware of everything that you're doing, every moment of the day. For water, I want you to get half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Just for now, I want you to measure it out, put it in bottles, and take it with you all day. Sleep. So just for now, try to get 8 hours of sleep a night, and do it when it's dark. Okay? Maybe try to get to bed a half hour early or something. Breathing, just for now, remember, small steps. I want you to take a time out and take 10 deep breaths a day. Okay, you get your oxygen, you're good to go, you get your energy. Just be aware of what you are putting into your bodies. And eat what nature has provided you. The more man has touched the food, the worse it is. Movement. You should be able to move like a human being, pain-free. So check yourself against those 7 primal patterns that we talked about. Now, here's the thing, and I always get this, is when people start working on these things, these 6 principal foundations, they say, and they get some success, the first thing they say is, wow, I can't believe that sleep had such an effect on me. I can't believe food affected my mood so much. I can't believe just concentrating on water, I lost weight, I feel better, my joints are finally feeling great. So do not underestimate these 6 principal foundations, because we treat the person, we don't treat the disease. And once you are doing these 100% capacity on a consistent basis, then we can start addressing other factors. But do your best with these 6 principal foundations, have fun, and accept this as your new lifestyle. And remember, small steps. Do your best, and we'll see you again sometime. Hey Windsor and Essex County, we want to hear from you, our viewers, and we want your questions, we want your comments, and we want your feedback. And together, we can change our community.